Welcome everyone to another RGL cast. My name is Jared. I'm here with Alto to bring you guys Witness Gaming versus The Darkest Nights. This is RGL 6's Season 13, Stage 2, lower finals, and while we aren't quite at the point of eliminating themselves from the tournament, both these teams are still putting themselves on the line for participation in the upcoming weeks, as we all know by now, at least hopefully Stage 2. It's a little bit different from seasons past, but, you're able to win this match. You're able to secure yourself at least second seed, and you will not have to participate in weeks 7 and 8, and you'll be solidified as either the first or second seed, depending on how future matches go, when playoff hits. But if you lose this match, not only are you at least temporarily third seed, but you have to still fight for your third seed, as week 7th and 8th, you will need to be fighting against seeds 4, 5, and 6 to make sure that you don't drop down and take one of their seeds if they, unfortunately for your team, beat you. So still got a lot on the line. These two teams have played against each other a decent amount now in BO1s and BO3s, and every single match has been relatively close, and I do not expect very much different coming out of tonight, Alto.
No, neither do I. I'm not going to I'm subbing in. I think I'm subbing in for Space Ghost tonight. Not going to pretend I fully understand the intricacies of the playoff bracket, but I do know about that kind of 3 through 6 stage melee that the teams are going to have to go into, which probably means a lot of scrims, a lot of logs against each other, a lot of data for teams to scout out once that final field is set. So being able to exempt yourself from that, get a little bit of rest, and maybe not reveal all your strengths as much is going to be a good thing. But happy to be here. Although something I do want to point out, Jarrett, that you mentioned to me right as we were getting in, was that apparently Darkest Nights have not picked nor scrimmed Granary once this season, and yet here we are.
Yep, the map pool for tonight is going to be Granary, then Bagel, and then Sultry. The last two maps are maps that we've actually seen a decent amount so far this season, but Granary, not so much, and you could say the same, like you mentioned, for the side of Darkest Nights. I don't think they've scrimmed it once, so Witness Gaming doing a bit dirty there, and definitely did their homework on which is might be the best map for them to pick. But we'll see in due time, as you can go ahead and see the pick bands on the screen right now and what people are interested in. There's a lot of interesting results to think about when you think about this pick ban. I think Alto was talking about it before. We kind of went live about how, Witness Gaming, they won their previous process match versus Darkest Nights, but are still going ahead and banning it since they've done pretty not that great in scrims in general. The side of Darkest Nights, they won Metalworks when it was played, I think last Wednesday versus Witness Gaming, but here it goes completely untouched, not picked nor banned by either team. So kind of curious, but all in due time we'll see the method to all the team's madness and see if they're going to be regretting what they eventually picked and banned, as we'll soon to get underway. I mean, still waiting on a couple people to enter the server, but and the clock's ticking. We're nearing that time.
Yeah, and just for reference, anyone who hadn't seen last week, it was a BO3 between these two teams. Witness went out ahead 3-1 on Process. Darkest Nights came back 3-2 on Metalworks to take it to Sultry, where Witness won 3-2 again. So that Sultry being the decider once again, Darkest Nights must feel uncomfortable potentially running that back. But yeah, as Jared said, some really interesting kind of map choices here.
I mean, if you think about it, they won the maps that they didn't pick. I mean, they were picked against them probably for
the Highlander special.
Yeah, but I guess one thing is that should be said is there is a little bit of experience here between the two teams on particular maps. Even though we said that Darkest Nights have obviously, I don't think they've played Granary this season yet in recent memory. Obviously Sultry, if we do go to a third map, was just played between these two teams. A very close game, could have really gone either way. It's going to be very hard to predict. And for the side of Bagel, even though it wasn't a match setting, I'm pretty sure they literally just scrimmed it Tuesday, and the results were pretty even. So, I think Granary is going to be the only territory where you're not really... Probably the teams aren't 100% sure what to fully expect. I mean, even if there is, any sort of, last-minute VOD reviewing going on to figure out enemy team tendencies, you're not... Witness Gaming is not really going to be able to do that, so they just got to go with the full confidence that what they bring to the table is going to be better. So I'm kind of curious on how that's going to work out. That's going to be kind of a new, probably new viewing experience to see. I mean, Granary plays pretty uniquely compared to a lot of the other 5 CP maps. A bit slower. It's the quote-unquote 7 CP of the pool, and the mids are pretty gnarly in their uniqueness as well. So we'll kind of see how that comes into things. But overall, it's a very polarizing BO3. You have a very slow 5 CP, a really quick pace Koth, and then if you need it, another very slow 5 CP. So we're going to be working in waves here tonight.
Definitely, yeah. So I want to start looking at the players a little bit, Jared, since I mean I'm not as familiar, recognize a number of the names in here, but who should we really be looking out for, especially on Granary? You mentioned those gnarly mids, because I feel like those mids, can sometimes develop really quickly. One good bomb comes in, maybe not seen as much from the crates, and things can start getting out of control really quickly for one team before they have to, push into yard, which is that I'm assuming that extra CP you're referring to.
Yeah. I think there's going to be no roster changes compared to the previous time these two teams played against each other. For the side of Witness Gaming, it is Logan in bot mode on Scout. It should be Fruit in Quacks on Soldier, not Cav. I think there's a little bit of a mistake there on the graphic. Caps on Demo and Hubbard on Medic. And for the side of Darkest Nights, it's Sam and Gungan on Scout. High Five and Dingo on Soldier. Psy on Demo and Speedy on Medic. In terms of players to watch, it's Granary. I think it's really difficult to not kind of look at the Soldiers, especially the Pocket, because even though it's not 2009, the Pocket can still, kind of take control of the game, put it in their hands, and if they so desire, and then the world is their oyster, you kind of just see if they can 1v6 the server. And I wouldn't be too surprised to see that kind of gameplay coming out if the teams feel like they need it. It's a bit of uniqueness, last resort, even if it isn't normally your play style. Although there is something to be said about the other classes as well, obviously, for the side of Scouts, because it can be such a scout prison. I think your skills are really put to the test a whole lot to make sure that you're playing in it's less of a comfortable environment, say, to something like Process or Viaduct or anything like that, right? And then the Demo Men, it can be very hard map to backward transition on. So if you're on the back foot or trying to be a participant in getting forces but not dying to Ubers, that can be pretty tough. Making sure you don't melt on mid fights, that's going to be an important role if your team ever wants to have a chance at winning them. So I think there's going to be a lot of factors that play in terms of a particular class or a particular player having an impact, but I'm definitely probably looking at the Soldier duos for both teams as a default.
All right, and something too that I thought was interesting was I did a little bit of log diving when these two teams played last week. The round scores were pretty even. The frags over 2 hours of gameplay, despite losing, Darkest Nights actually had a 5 frag advantage, which over that much time, nothing at all. But really, really close between them, and I'd say Gungan probably the standout, up 10 kills over anyone else in the server. So of those scouts I'm going to look at, and yeah, I like what you said about how it not being as good of a scout map means your skills are put to the test a little bit more, and it might mean someone who is used to playing scout on a really scout powerful map, can kind of hide behind that strength. Whereas when you play on a map where you're now the weaker class in a lot of situations, really goes to show each kind of ounce of skill each player has. So I might have my eye on Gungan there, see if we can kind of repeat that performance.
All right, well, we're going live. So what's your score, Fred?
I'm cognizant of the fact that Darkest Nights haven't played this too much, but they also didn't ban it, so I'm gonna say 4-1 Witness here.
I think it'd be really funny if they didn't prep for this at all for the side of Darkest Nights and still came away with a victory, but I'm going to say 3-1 in favor of Witness. I think it's going to be rough for them to have a clean sweep, but you never know. As we have gone over to the first mid-side, immediately taking a lot of damage. It's going to be High Five that is the bomb target. They're just blasted into a corner. They're caught in no man's land. Speedy immediately weak, 31 HP, has to basically leave, with the rest of them kind of salvaging. Dingo is behind, might be able to find an angle, but doesn't jump quite yet as the rest of his team needs support. Able to come around the corner, Psy and Dingo work together to make sure those 2 kills over the flank will indeed die, and it is a 3v3 inside of Witness Gaming. It looked really, really good in the beginning, but they get this cap and there's some pressuring happening. Dingo has to work for some sort of play, is barely going to get out and will escape, so seems like the slim margins are going to be enough to be able to secure that mid-fight for them, but both Ubers still intact for both teams.
Yeah, Speedy really playing on a knife's edge there as they got forced into that corner, as you said, right when the bomb came out. A number of stickies came in that I thought were going to hit him. He was only on about 20 health, but manages to back out, keeps this Uber alive, as a yard hold is getting set up right now from the side of Darkest Nights. Not too much forward, or just finally some forward pressure coming in. Bob mode up on Sniper. Yeah, gonna have to see if that can pay anything off for them.
First shot, most important one, about to take it. Okay, yeah, he's definitely taking it. High Five body shot. They definitely know what the deal is now, but they're already playing pretty safe to begin with. Speedy playing really centralized, so they try to go for the flank play that Quacks and Logan are going for right now. Everyone's buffed, everyone's healed, no kills there except for Quacks' attempt on their life, and will indeed be a sack there. Side really jumping forward, unafraid of just dying to a sticky trap inside a garage, but it's going to be Dingo the one that bombs in. Is going to be creating space, just committing, will indeed almost crater, 7 HP, not enough to continue to survive. Almost takes down Fruit with him, but will indeed survive there through the counter sack attempt, and bot mode is probably going to have a bit more room now to go ahead and snipe with Dingo unavailable to apply spam to all these doors.
Yep, gonna get seen out, peeking in, but yeah, very forward. In goes, here comes the soldier. Not gonna find the sniper pick though. Great defense there from Logan, as now bot mode's gonna have even more room to kind of peek out here, and the Uber's gonna get forced out.
Yeah, they've decided they pretty much do or die here with losing all those players so fast. No soldiers available, but they lose side in the middle of it. No explosives really available. I mean, Dingo's finally hewn out, but not for the yard fight, only for the 2 fights. They really have to lock things down here. Witness Gaming able to find a nice drop there in the middle of the Uber to make sure that they have the player advantage to try to work this point still. They're down the player themselves, so they can only fight this for so long before things become a little bit dire. They also still have the sniper, which doesn't really bode well in the indoors area here, at least from the side of Z where he is peeking. But, you know, back with the team, bot mode still trying to find an angle here. Knows that it's kind of on them to try to make some. They don't really have an Uber to work with yet, but they can still really go for a sack if they kind of wanted to. Because they're starting to get all their players around to be able to lock things down. Seems like things are going to settle just a bit. All outside. The side of Cozy, Darkest Nights, they've opted for the upper hold to make sure that, once again, Speedy is really about reinforcing the flank here as close to them as possible to make sure that they can be buffed, but it's not going to matter. Yeah, gets Gungan, gets a lot of damage on a Dingo as well. They've lost so much positioning here, and honestly, they can't really play this passive unless they just want bot mode to walk in, and that's what he's doing. They lose them. They're so afraid they really don't want to use this Uber. It's just going to mean that they lose both scouts, lose the point entirely, and now with no scouts, it's even easier for them to go for some sort of sack play from the side of Witness Gaming.
Yep, they're going to start walking in, though, and that's going to be Caps going down. Dingo traded out. Bot mode finding another pick. Things are developing a little bit quickly. Coming in through that left shutter right there is Witness Gaming, but the Uber forced out by by Speedy, and it's going to get them some ground back in a second. Bot mode going behind. They're going to get caught out, but I've been able to hold on to the Uber, so likely going to see something coming back in sooner rather than later. Caps still not even through yet.
Yeah, they're trying to apply a little bit of snare to block it, but I think they're going to go ahead and let it through. They know that, you know, it's not that big of a deal. They get the kill on the Gungan as well, which is really nice, and they know that the way that Darkest Nights have been playing so far, especially for Granary, it's not going to be too hard to go ahead and get this recap for free. So just fine giving it up to retake it immediately right after. They got all their players now, except for bot mode, who actually ran back to... Oh, no, he didn't run back to spawn. He died, right? So he's rolling out now, not on Sniper anymore, just waiting him for a bit. But we'll finally go ahead and go with this Uber, immediately popping through, so not afraid of the stickies. Onto any sort of gun? No, there isn't a gun built there in entirety. Getting a lot of damage onto Zam and Speedy. Gonna go ahead and reset. Gonna lose Caps in the thick of it. No Dillman available to lock out the spawns or the point. But both soldiers having to already give their lives. And Logan is corner capping. Eats a lot of damage. Will eventually fall. Player advantage on the side of Cozy. Everyone's really weak. Fruit's gonna aid an arrow. Trying to back up. Uber comes out. Double scout. Trying to chase down this soldier with only a medic left alive as Caps is a respawner. I mean, in the beginning of that. Oh, Caps trying to save his medic, gets a pipe on one of the scouts, might die. No, doesn't need to get the Gungan frag, so good job from Caps, but overall, attempt not really going to lead to too much as Cozy. They retake 2, they retake yard, and with that medic kill, they're probably going to try to take mid, at least somewhat for free off the heal advantage.
Yeah, big high bomb trying to come in from Quacks there, but a little bit mistimed. Could have found Speedy if that was a little bit later, but gonna get taken out. Mid cap likely gonna start coming in soon once some of this territory is secured. But getting Hubiter there so big for them is now they've got the Uber Ed, they have the momentum coming in. Mid's gonna get capped, and you know, yard looking like the hold is where it's gonna settle in from Witness, but you know, all the momentum back in their favor. They're gonna leave 2 behind, and they're already starting to push in.
Yeah, they're drawing early. They were unable to really lock down Garage from the side of the red team, and because they know there is ad, they really don't want to take this little short fight unless they can find a way to kill Speedy immediately, because they know as long as it elongates, you would just get Uber in the middle of the fight. Got it back up to 2 with the rest of your players, and now here's the decision to make here. Do you think they're going to drop down straight up, or do you think they're going to run behind with the Uber? They do make the correct call that it is going to be just a drop down and not running behind, but it might be a little bit too close to go without any casualties at all. Bot mode's a bit close. One of the soldiers backed up, didn't really commit quite yet, so it'll be a bit before he finally dies. The Uber does come out and will indeed collect both soldiers on the side of the Darkest Nights, and both scouts aren't necessarily in the best shape either. Gungan will fall. Zam barely escaping, so they're not quite there to be able to clean him up, but you know, I mean, Execution there at the very beginning, not really what it needed to be from the side of Darkest Nights. Barely got the bot mode kill, had to give up so much for it. Uber still comes out. I mean, at least you got the Uber, and will indeed get these forward spawns as well.
Look at the percents. How about it, despite popping way later, up 7-8%. So what could have been a 20% ad for Speedy is now looking like a 10% disad. So really sharp building there, and it's going to mean that, you know, no ad push coming back in. You know, would have had to have been really quick and decisive to catch Habata out here, but that option's just off the table.
Yeah, not only do you lose the second that you just cap, but you also lose the leapfrog attempt.
Don't get on Sniper though. Trying to push him through garage area, see if he can find anything. That is where bot mode found the pick as well, but Sticks above gonna get that out, open up the angle for him. I think that hits the body shot and caps, but that's it.
Yeah, they bullied Sai a lot. You know, he's definitely at least a little bit of support. Witness Gaming, they probably have to do something eventually. They can't just let the sniper take shot after shot after shot. I mean, it's a little bit less stressful because it is a very indoor area. Quacks will eventually try to go ahead and throw him out, and it actually will commit into the corner on the speed. They didn't have Lunchbox locked down as they wanted an overall. We'll trade 1-for-1, and 3 players on the side of Cozy are red HP. They cannot commit to this. I mean, sure, they got the Quacks kill, but Quacks is dying for his team. Sins is able to secure that play. And they're already poking out. Bot mode peeking through the shutter with the team. Got to be mindful of the sniper that's still on the field. Gungan over by the side of Garage, just trying to escape with his team. Sai on the opposite side trapping it. But they see where Sai left. They know that, hey, let's just go Garage. It's not going to be trapped. Be mindful of the sniper, and that's the only real threat. He might be able to get a good play, but no, the Uber will come out. Beware of the sniper. Trying to run forward and see if they can kill Gungan. Surfs out from one of the stickies and will not die. So overall, trading an Uber for a point, not really the best of scenarios, but hey, if you're really confident in your defense, especially with the Gungan being on offense sniper, then maybe you're not too mad at things. But cap, either way, will go in favor of Witness Gaming. And now Cozy are going to only a handful of percentages away to go ahead and pick a door and try to retake what they think is rightfully theirs.
Yeah, when you mentioned Gungan hitting that surf, while nice, I was thinking maybe you did want to die there, you know, come back up on scout. But they are going to try to work the sniper in from this left side over here, getting in deep. He has Uber. They look to use soon, yet pop out onto Zam. Going to start chasing them back into yard. Cap's going to go down. Only frag found so far. Bot mode caught out in the corner here. Likely will go down eventually. But no, Logan going to be the one actually getting sniped out, and bot mode takes out Zam. Ball's dead as well as Witness looking to find some picks to push themselves back in here. No cap time at all on mid, and they might just have to give this up. Let's go and find something as they walk back in, but no, gonna find bot mode, surprise! Sniper's finally dead.
Yeah, really clutch play from Logan. Even though he died, he brought back 2 players. I mean, that post fight, that even though they got kills, they got caps. I mean, they weren't able to really play it properly. Now Sai caught into no man's land, unable to find an avenue to jump out, and now this Uber is gonna be extra free to just retake 2 and then just maybe straight push into labs. High five is maybe the last thing that could ever save them. He's not really able to block though. I mean, maybe he can find fruit or something. I mean, it's gonna be a really awkward soldier. I mean, he gets this frag, but this push is underway. There's only a couple more percentages until Speed's able to get. They really gotta block this, but there's too much cap time. There's too much pressure, and Witness Gaming had a stranglehold over that last couple of minutes of that situation there. All started with a nice play from Logan, collapsing properly, catching Sai to make sure the Uber isn't even forced. High five, I mean, sure you get a soldier kill in Lunchbox, but for what? And that cap easily goes in favor of Witness Gaming 1-0 here on Granary.
The first of, you know...
But it's hopefully many rounds.
Yeah, exactly. But it's hopefully many, yeah. For one
in either direction.
I'm looking for.
Yeah, I don't care which direction, just hopefully the first of many rounds. We are on to the second mid.
Both teams looking to start climbing right there. And that is going to be Caps, who's already up on the red crate, taking some of that height advantage already. Not quite getting forced out that same corner, but in goes Quacks. No damage onto the medic. Going to get taken out right there. And another soldier.
High five behind. High five
dead.
going for the long con. Just finds Pavada. It wraps around completely through their yard, saying, my team's got this. I'm going to go for the bigger play. Collects that medic frag, unable to find an escape, and it's just the final 2 players remaining. Caps gets one into Zam. Isn't able to find much more. Botman maybe will be able to clean one up. A couple nice shots, but not quite enough to collect a kill there. And I guess that's the difference between playing the crates and playing the lane. I mean, if you're committed to being on the top of the crates, you likely don't want to give it up too much, which means there's not much follow-up on trying to kill lane people. So Quacks went in, didn't get much damage. I'm pretty sure when Fruit bombed in, Fruit got like air shot or something, completely denied, did not land where they wanted to, I don't think, and melted as well. With no follow-up from any other class. Fruit dying as well, losing the spam war. Means that it's going to be even easier to take this cap and find a way to work your way in. Although Dingo dies. Okay,
Quacks.
overall soldier kill, 8
Oh,
HP.
saves himself.
Wants an
Great
arrow.
rocket.
So even playing field, but the Uber still comes out. They're trying to use this, get them gun down, spam down, corner capping. Soldiers immediately launching out of the spawn, just launching themselves towards their death. They gotta block this cap. Gotten a couple frags. Overall 3v3 scenario, no medical life for either team. 1 HP on side, but Mark Gardner from high five to seal the deal on the kill onto the enemy demo man of Quacks. But overall, losing too many people way too quickly on the side of the Darkest Knights. 2 left alive. They got a little bit of spam in them to maybe slow down this cap. Dingo still showing himself here in size. Even though it's a bit weak, can still put a lot of damage on. Yeah, bot mode, extremely weak. It's gonna be hard to push this, but you know, they got some cap time. Witness Gaming can try, but they're not going to give it up from the side of Darkest Knights. They're here. They're spamming. Yeah, it's theirs.
Yeah, I just have to call out Quacks finding that kill onto Dingo in upper right before that Uber came out. You know, Darkest Knights knew they needed to go as their ad time was running out, but Quacks being able to get the kill and then hit the rocket right as he was landing to not crater on, you know, land on I think 8 HP or so. Really, really big there because he was able to stay up and contribute into that Uber fight there. But as you said, still going to be 2 held by Darkest Knights. Both
They
teams
try.
like Ubers here.
It looks like they want to try, but yeah, high five's dead. Quacks tries to maybe find an opening. If they're all the right shutter, maybe I can find a way into upper, but no, there is a person watching. Will eventually get pushed back, and I guess that's the quote-unquote sack for the side of the Darkest Knights, even though it didn't necessarily look that way in the beginning. But 100% on both teams. Gun going up. Bot mode is checking for off classes right now in spawn, and will eventually realize that they're all on cookie cutter. But the question is how long will he have patience to check? Zam is running back to spawn right now. Now that he knows there's no counter sack, bot mode's checking, still checking.
Swap the
Maybe
sniper.
maybe he recognizes there's going to be a sniper already. Just depends. I didn't see what he eventually was able to see, but he does eventually go off back on scout. But honestly, the fact that it would be a sniper on blue, it wouldn't be too much of a surprise anyway. So regardless of whether or not the surprise shot for the side of Zam is still available, you know, it's still going to be a rough one to kind of deal with for both teams trying to work their way in. A lot of damage onto Quack. Very, very weak. This sniper has revealed himself either way. Trying to go for a hero shot. Gun in the way, though. Going to make things a bit difficult here to get a headshot.
Yeah, I like how they have the time to get the gun up to hold, you know, a little bit more forward here. How about underneath doorway out of upper with the dispenser to sit on rather than being forced back? Just makes it so much harder to get in with that sniper.
Not much time left either. Only 90 seconds until you go back to mid-fight, which Witness Gaming very much fine with the mid-fight reset, and that is why this Uber comes out. They know they only have so much time. They get bot mode, they get the gun, which is actually pretty good. If they can find a way to work their way in here and not get mulched by soldiers, it'd be really good. They found themselves through the opening other shutter. 2 dead. Quack's gonna eventually die, so giant player advantage for the side of Cozy as they're working themselves in. Get a little bit of cap time, bring some people forward. They gotta play this fast, otherwise the respawners are gonna come in. High five. He's getting a lot of damage, no frags, but a lot of room for his team. They were so worried about making sure they can hit this high five kill since he was such in the thick of it and so deep. No one was really available. I mean, they had 4 alive. No one was available to just get on the cap and block it until it was way too late. So Cozy, with the really nice plays, recognizing the situation that they were forced into and make the best out of it, finding themselves around and leading up to an even game 1-1.
I want to watch Speedy's positioning on this mid here because I feel like the big difference in the 2 mids is that Speedy was able to get some ground out, get out of that corner, so that when the bombs came in, there was a lot more room to dodge and he wasn't forced out immediately. This time he's going to get up on the crates early, though, still same position, crossed over. Watch if any bombs are going to cross. Quacks in all the way behind, fighting Dingo. Gonna win that, Logan's gonna help him win that fight, so numbers already in favor of Witness Gaming here. 1 jump gonna come in, but gets canceled there. Quack's eventually taken out by Gungan, but point presence in favor of Witness. Lots of cap time, the collapse coming into the corner, and they are gonna find High Five and Zam.
Yep, a little bit better play from the side of Witness Gaming, getting that nice kill in Dingo, and it took them a while to actually kill Quacks, I think it was, that went for that play. So, going to be a bit rough for them having a couple people down to try to deal with that situation, and it makes it more difficult to actually fight when they're just stuck inside their own corner and choked. So, just slowly strangled out, lost a lot of positioning. The high ground was definitely in favor of the side of Witness Gaming the entire time because they definitively played a crate style mid throughout the entirety of it. So, the spam was definitely going to be in their favor throughout the longevity of the fight. And ultimately, it's them the mid win. But yeah, bot mode sniper, it's spotted. High five, I think, was able to see through the doorway, so they know of it. And you know, they're playing centralized once again, out of the sniper sight line, getting everyone buffed, especially on the flank. And bot mode, I feel like if he kills anyone, it's going to be Psy. He gets a headshot on him, I'm pretty sure, down to 60 HP, scaring himself away. But they're going for a play here, around the corner, right side, Uber.
Fighting right here. Lots of Uber bodies bumping into each other. Looks like nothing's going to come of it, though. Both sides agree to a handshake and walk away. So Uber's traded out, really no damage done at all, and we've just kind of reset ourselves here as Bagel now peeking in from the left side. Ooh, good find onto the sniper. As that will be numbers advantage then for Darkest Knights. Look like they are going to push in through the lower left side. Side trying to lead that, bust them through right there, but High Five caught out on the side. That's going to stall any pushing in from them. Looks like Jarrett has disconnected, so I'm solo in the booth right now as some pressure going to start to come into yard right here. Fruit trying to get in on the side, going to go down. Side going to be traded back out, though. Caps looking to push forward. Logan with him, and both teams are in yard trying to wrap each other. Interesting position for Dragon Knights here. They just come up on Uber, and they're kind of forced out. They're going to have to use in just to get some positioning back. Exchange happening right on the point. More bodies in favor of Witness right here. And the Ubers are going to fade with, again, no kills coming through, but positioning for Witness. Gungan going to be the first one to go down. Lots of damage on the side, though, but Logan finds Dingo, and it looks like that should end up being the push for Witness, and as they cap up too. Welcome back, Jared.
I love my internet. I'm reconnecting, so I missed the last like 30 seconds or so. But
things started up right away as Witness now pushing into last 6v6 right here. No kills, no Ubers, no guns. Sam and High Five both going down right away. Logan the only casualty on the side of Witness Gaming. Only 2 left. Gungan's heavy, not going to be able to pull off a last stand as Witness will come right in and cap that up.
Well, I don't know about you, but that round for me went about in a blink of an eye, so I think I'm
pretty,
there. Yeah, I'm pretty speechless. Yeah, 1 minute, or at mid, the other next second, round converted. So 2-1 in favor of Witness Gaming. So pretty close so far, but these mids, they've gone a little bit back and forth. I think mostly to the side of Witness Gaming, they've been on the up and up. They've been playing crate mids, controlling high ground, and we'll see if that trend stays the same as we enter the next one. Both Domen just trying to soften each other up, and once again they are taking the catwalk area, staying on top of the crate. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But a lot of aggression onto the enemy garage. Quacks to be the first to fall. Overall trading 1 for 1. Fruit trying to get a shot on the gun. A nice rocket able to take down that scout, but losing couple as well.
Oh, they
finally take down Hubada last second. Just Sai and Speedy left alive. They gotta jump away, they gotta preserve their lives, but luckily for them, everyone else on the side of Witness Gaming a little bit too far back to go ahead and deal with anything about that. So just gonna go for the cap, keep themselves preserved, and a mid-victory for the side of Witness Gaming, but not without a couple losses. As the side of Darkest Knights, they're getting their soldiers up just now. It's gonna be a bit for them to go ahead and recenter themselves in that yard area, as Logan has found himself behind. He has found himself a 1v1 that he lost. Sam able to win with 5 HP. The play doesn't work this time, and it's going to make it a bit easier, but Quacks is on Spy and could be the saving grace for their team if he can find the right moment to decloak. Oh, he did not find the right moment to decloak.
No, not at all.
But Sam's 5 HP. He's trying to get pistol him down. He's found a new target. So Spy revealed, play didn't really work. Zam lives throughout it all.
He's been at 5 HP for a while, it feels like.
Yeah, no packs available for him, but he's fine for now. But this Uber, this ad, no longer available. Hubada at 100% now. Things have flipped around. Caps did die, so they're not going to be there for an Uber if they want to take it right now, which is why they're buying some extra room here inside yard to see if they can get it forced early. Got to be careful, though. There's still some explosive classes around. Fruit on the chase, able to kill High Five. They're chasing down Zam, able to kill him. And Sai, maybe as well? No, bot mode. Bit enough more than you will indeed die. In the flank from Dingo. With the long con, the spy play, 3 HP in a dream, will indeed die. 2 left alive from this side of Darkest Knights, and they got a couple frags, a couple important ones, but not. Hubada lives throughout it all, and
it had been Quacks who found the med kill, the revolver coming in as PD was running out, so didn't find the right time to decloak in the beginning, but stayed behind long enough that it righted itself. As the mid gonna go back over, not quite actually, no, not able to get the cap up in time before Darkest Knights come back in to defend it.
Yeah, just have a bit of a respawn advantage. This is their point. This is their territory. They roll out much quicker to it, and the wave of reinforcements come in, just barely block the cap, so no forwards available for the side of Witness Gaming, but they don't really need it that much. They got their Uber ready to go, working through Garage, it appears, over to the far left side, and oh, Dingo, that is not where you want to be, so immediately collecting a kill, but High Five will be successful in getting the force. No plays to go behind, no soldiers available, and Caps almost dies to a sticky trap but it's fine. He tanked it just a bit. And the side of Darkest Knights, they haven't added work with, but don't really have the players to go with it quite yet. So Witness Gaming, take yard, trap it up. Kind of afraid of the forward spawn, which they are indeed going to get. Oh, High Five eats it. Cap will indeed go in favor of Witness Gaming, but the Super's already out. Zai wants to chase Hubba, doesn't get the sticky on him, but finds one of the scouts. Maybe overall trading, the scout kind of escapes his grasp. Botmo's on top of the point right now. High Five behind him, kind of caught in a circle, but Speedy down to 11 HP. The final rock from Quacks is unable to take him out as they still have to deal with 2 more players. The first of the 2 should. How did what? Hello? Yeah, someone's typing beef in chat. 2 rockets come out from the side of Fruit. Somehow 0 connects. Hello? It's just Logan behind once again at his home. Classic is gonna start with the back cap, and
just had the dancing shoes on. Yep, as the pause comes in.
Dingo's probably gonna stop this back cap, I would imagine, or maybe not stop it, but he'll be there to kind of fight it. And Zam is in a position to go back as well. But once again, the fact that Logan's behind in the first place, if they didn't even buy it like even a little bit of time, means that Dingo and Zam could be tied up, and you know, they've been working with a skeleton crew here on mid. Cap's starting to go. They're bringing back 3. Only 3 people are at mid right now. Yes, they kill Logan, but do they recognize that 3 people are at mid? Yes, they do. They're walking in. There's no positioning available from the side of Darkest Knights. They got some cap time, but it's not locked down quite yet. They're finally streamlining through. Cap still going in their favor, but High Five going for the big play. Finds Hubba, will give his life for it, but that's huge for the side of Darkest Knights. They have high ground as well, and Speedy's safe inside Garage. They're going to get caps as well. It's a huge, huge pick. So even though they lose Dingo, bot mode in the thick of it, trying to see if he can get the frag on a Speedy or gunning it, but will not be successful. So overall, really nice plays from the side of Darkest Knights. And Witness Gaming maybe a bit slow on abusing that 3 people were behind, but it's gonna kind of bite them as Medic died, lost mid, most definitely going to lose too. Yeah, they got the gun building up already, and Cozy, I mean, they're like in a pretty good spot where they could have an opportunity to take another round, but the question is will the execution be what it needs to be to actually convert?
Yeah, if they can get this cap, they'll still have a pretty decent window to come push into last with that full ad, but as you said, you know, that just High Five going for a couple plays in Garage, finds Hubba at 96 there, so that was ad too, would have been 20% ads, and finding them at their massive, and would potentially enable this round as the Uber comes in through upper.
Yep, trying to find the gun, will indeed spam it down. A little bit of damage on the High Five for the post, so it's going to be a bit weak. A little bit of cap time, Fruit on top of things. Bomb mode immediately the first to fall. Red players all across the board for the side of Dark Sniper. The cap time is too immense for them to deal with. They did a lot of damage on the Quack, so I don't think he was in a good position to bomb. And then, you know, Fruit stopped it the first time, but there was no second line of defense for once the cap kept going and people got on it again. So really good job from the side of Darkest Knights, focusing the right players down to at least buy some space, even if it didn't net them tons and tons of kills. And that is going to lead us to a tied game, 2-2 here on Granary.
6 minutes left in the half, so should we see a 3-2 come out, it would have to be a relatively quick round as Cap's playing on the ground this time, had been playing the fast 2 mids up top. Speedy now up top as well, gonna drop down onto the crates right there. Dingo going in early, gonna be the first one going down. Quacks finds that kill. Cap's getting collapsed on, but no kill gonna come through. That is High Five and Zam both going down. Retreat is sounded. Backing up into yard right now is the rest of Darkest Knights.
Yeah, everyone on the side of the Darkest Knights, whatever aggression that they showed to try to, you know, get on someone and maybe kill them, it was all across the board. There were like 2 or 3 different targets at least that they went for at different points, and that's not going to really lead to too much focus firing there to net a kill. So back to their own 2, Gungan trying to fight off Quacks inside Lunchbox, but Dingle will be the one to clean up the frag. So that's the sack for the side of Witness Gaming as they're, you know, chilling outside waiting for whatever happens. Logan spotting drop down. They got some people over by the side of Z, and Caps, so they're no respecting him. They're trying to find, oh no, actually the fight from onto High Five, definitely going to kill him. Dingo dying as well, so no soldiers available. Both soldiers went in for something. Maybe miscommunication or maybe a mistake on one of the soldiers' sides, but either way, with little spam, yeah, they just concede it. They know there's no realistic way for them to actually hold this, even if they use an Uber to buy time for the respawns. A little bit too quick there, so immediately, soldier coming in, maybe finding a side bit alone, but the heavy is out on the field, so gotta chew away through all his HP. Uber's available for both teams. Quack's gonna die to a trap on his retreat, and they're surging forward, trying to see if they can get anyone else, but will not be so lucky, but at least they survive enough in time for their soldiers to respawn, get up a decent defense, and this might be beginning of a stalemate here on last, and Cozy probably just hoping for a mid reset potentially.
Yeah, I mean, only 4 minutes left in the half anyway, so yep, Logan running in, that's...
10 HP.
I guess that counts as your sack there, see if he comes up on something other than Scout.
Maybe, maybe not. think Logan on his off-classing is not consistent. Sometimes he's an off-classer, sometimes it's not really his thing, but we'll see. Yeah, we will see the sniper this time around. 3 minutes left on the clock, so he has some time to try to find an angle. Realistically, if it's not 2-mans, it's going to be this that's your path to victory. I mean, obviously, there's there's those spy plays and things like that, but with how much wow, they get the gun in 2 stickies. Nice bomb from High Five, but he's gonna give up his life for it actually. Some damage, but not quite enough to do anything much more than that. As now there's even extra room for the side of Logan to just walk in. He's very unafraid. Zam on the counter sniper, but finally Uber comes out, a couple flashes. Bot mode will die to a trap from the side of Psy, and now they have to back up. Well, overall, 5v5, but nice shot from Zam on to Quack. Initiation from the side of Fruit. Logan with a shot as well, trying to find their way to get any sort of medic frag. Will not be lucky. They get the kill on the side, but that's about it. But they've given up so much. Just a sniper, a Dellman, and a medic. That's not going to be enough. That's barely enough to do anything here. Probably going to eventually concede too. They're doing some spam. You know, we got to be careful of lunch. Got to be careful of making sure you don't accidentally just die yourself to the opponent's spam. Overall trade, 1 for 1. It's not bad, but surely this cap goes in favor of Darkest Nights. But they're I guess the fact that Psy's not there means the double soldier isn't quite enough, so the execution isn't there to actually bully them out, despite very little being available on the side of Witness Gaming's side. So once again, deja vu, they're just trying to walk in and see if Logan hit some shots.
Big bomb coming out of Fruit right there. Not really going to find too much damage with that, though, as Logan popped up, was going for maybe a god shot there, not going to find anything. Zam in deep, gets some damage. Caps hit up low, and good rocket at the hub. They're going to force the Uber out. Speedy still holding. Going to have to see if this gets the Uber out in exchange.
Too far. Too far back of an Uber. Not really going to be able to find it, so they cut their losses, recognize if they went even further and to get that source, they would certainly die. But Logan's going for the back cap play. Logan wants to end this round right now. He's got some rolling out to do, got some walking to do, but his team's going to try to slow things down. But this Uber is definitely going to be the opposite of slowing things down. Caps will most certainly die for this. Oh, it's an arrow, so alive for now, but Gun will be able to collect that frag.
Something. Oh, maybe not.
Logan wins. Logan
wins.
That's a round. Distracted enough by the Uber. I mean, you killed a lot of people in Witness Gaming, so it makes sense you don't really want to default just going for the cap there. A lot of chaos maybe at least a little bit of chaos that happened indoors as well. They made it really hard for them to just like idle on the cap, get a lot of cap time. But
Zam's got to be kicking himself. Yep. He knew something was up, ran back, checked the point, and was literally like running side by side with Logan there.
Yep. Was kind of afraid
2 seconds later, probably is able to come back and save.
Yeah, was probably afraid of someone dropping down from the catwalk to go through the shutter, or from Lunchbox, one of the shutters, but I did not expect the invisible man. So once again, we'll see another mid for the red team. Tries to just sit on top of the crates, and Cozy, they're playing slightly differently every single time, but so far it's not really leading to the victories they necessarily need. Bombs come in once again from the side of the soldiers on different targets though, not really finding too much. They finally able to kill a Gungan, but they've given up a lot of HP on both their soldiers. So far, Darkest Nights have been unable to actually clean up on those facts. We do get both scouts, which is actually pretty huge. So this wraparound play from the side of Quacks is going to be, has to be pretty huge here. Bombing in, on to Speedy, alone, couple rockets, last one will indeed connect, killing the medic. So good play from the side of Quacks, looping all the way around, and now Hubba all the way back in choke, recognizes needs to be careful, especially because there is no scout to actually deny. Making sure they have an eye on Garage. Do not want to get flanked from there. That's why they're not streamlining forward right now. They're a little bit paranoid.
30 seconds left. Gungan building a gun on last on the mid fight.
On last already. No faith on second. I mean, they're actually doing a pretty good job of slowing them down here for the mid cap. So they had really long respawns for the side of Witness Gaming here. But back to 2 they go. I guess he's just, yeah, he's gotten off it. He's recognized they're not holding last. They did a good enough of a job of slowing down the mid cap. They actually get a chance to hold yard, or even 2 if they wanted to play it extra safe. But through choke, Witness Gaming goes. Bot mode leading the charge. They're just jumping forward. They've taken yard for free, and actually they did a lot of damage, and now they're probably just looking to maybe go lunch, maybe go Z. Lunch it is. Up, down, they're going lower. Not straight through the shutter, they're going straight into them. Finally, popping the Uber. Don't have quite yet from the side of Speedy, trying to run away. Oh, might be sticking it off at the side of Caps, a little bit of damage, but is able to get back, grease up a bit. So far, no kills. They did get the gun and a lot of room and the cap, so they are able to pressure this at least a little bit. They are having soldiers on top of the pipe. 10% more left for Speedy until he's finally able to use it as a tool if he needs to, but he's barely gets it in the last second. Both soldiers try to sack in. Will indeed give it their life for it. Same could be said for Logan, who will get caught. Caps stuck where Delman does not want to be. Gets Zam before he finally dies. And Witness Gaming, despite all that happened at the tail end there, the beginning part of the mid all the way to 2, all the way to the beginning of last wasn't that bad, but at the end of the day, the leapfrog scenario is going to be the thing you really have to look at as Darkest Knights in a pretty nice spot to kind of poke around. No demo man available, just got to be careful of the soldiers, but oh, immediately Quacks is out of there. This mid is definitely in the hands of Darkest Knights.
Definitely, although Hubba coming up on
the Uber though.
Now, they could do something about this if they want, and it looks like they might, running in right here, and seems that Darkest Knights are aware of that, but High Five gonna get caught out and go down. We'll get the Uber out as Witness Gaming all the way taking that mid control back, trying to get aggro into yard. Bot mode's gonna force them back before they're gonna back up. Logan maybe going around the long way, spots out Zam.
They're just streamlining
goes down. Yeah,
they've
they're
lost
just running
everyone.
in.
Yeah, they really tried to lock down all these doors, and I think they had enough in the tank to really work with. Speedy finally has the Uber. We'll try to use it on side. Barely gets the flash on him. Side gets the kill on a Logan. Gets the pipe on a Hubba. Caps once again keeps finding himself behind somehow, but overall just bot mode left alive. See if he can get any of these remaining 3, but Side with another pipe. And the explosive class is doing dirty work right now on the side of Darkest Knights, kind of holding the fort down. And after what looked like a really dire situation, they once again find a way to salvage to try to push themselves on to mid here, but I don't think this is going to be a cap conversion. They really have to win this fast, and that's why Sai is really, really aggressive. Thank you, said for the soldiers. They really have to lock Witness Gaming out here as the respawns are in favor of the red team. Both soldiers going in, see if they can get anything, but they find nothing. They get some damage, and Sai dies too. They played really risky here, and it does not pay off, as they might even have Zam die in the back of things, but Speedy's going to get scattered down instead on the side of Garage. It's a full wipe. They really thought that with what little they had, surely they could lock down Witness Gaming from walking in with the respawners, right? Even though they don't have their own, but they very quickly get humbled and around, in some ways, you know, maybe even thrown away, as with only 3 here to defend last, this is not even a last hold. Witness Gaming are just going to cap this unless they kind of throw this in the trash themselves. They lose Hubba, but that's not really that big of a deal if you can get the cap time, which has started a little bit. Respawners are actually starting to arrive. Maybe have Caster curse this, as they did indeed not really play the point despite having a 3-player advantage, and never mind, they lost. That's how it goes sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, just
maybe I should keep my mouth shut.
The height advantage big man. They knew that was a full wipe too, so no risk of a back cap.
They didn't play cap. You have 3 player ad. What kills you gonna find? Like, there's not very many people to pick from.
They went for Hubba first too, so you kind of used your meta as a distraction there, and still no cap time coming through, and you know it's gonna mean that you give Darkest Knights another chance here to come back into this game.
Yep. Almost have Uber. 80% inside Garage for the most part. They might be telegraphing to ship it, honestly. They're not centralized, so they know it's coming Garage. But the timing is, when will it be? Okay, apparently now, that is not where Sai wanted to be. Flanked from the side of Witness Gaming over on the side of the choke, able to get the 1 frag. They're 3 behind. Hello? Zam is not where he wants to be. Gets air shot by Brood. Set up into the
This is a triple. This is the triple back cap.
I
think that's it. That's got to be it.
Yeah, Cozy messed up here in a big way. They are not in a good spot right now. Fruit just wins. Dingo's not gonna be able to get there in time. Oh, never mind. Fruit gives up. Wants to go for the bigger play. Thinks he doesn't have it. Gets a 1 rocket onto Speedy. That's something at least. But the fact they gave up 3, I feel like they really could have had that, honestly. But I guess heat of the moment, they decide differently. They have a super available if they really want to, but they only have 3 players. So it has to be the crazy Uber of your life, and I think, yeah, they recognize it. They need way more than just 3. Let's give them the caps. They've done it before. Retake it pretty easily. Don't have to worry about too much. Just a little bit of Sam to sift through. It might be enough time for Speedy to get an Uber of his own, so this ad's gonna dwindle away, and it especially helps that bot mode will indeed die, despite Dingo giving up his life for it. Does have the respawn advantage if they do fight on last, but they're going. They think they have ad. They don't. I mean, maybe they'll find Sai, which is something. They get the kill into high 5, but this Uber, it'll be better, but it needs to be way better in terms of collecting frags as well. Has not been used. Zam on Sniper gets the kill on the caps. Uber's still not used, milking it. Will finally use a headshot on one of the soldiers. Gets scattered down to the side of gun again. Overall, 2 kills for an Uber. I guess you can't really be too mad at it, especially it's 2 explosive classes. Get our team respawning now, and they have a decent reason to try to poke 2 if they really wanted to, and you know, bully them out with a superior spam, but the pace they're playing out now, it looks like they are not interested. They know they have disad, they're building a gun. I guess they prefer the mid reset than, you know, trying to take that. I guess it's not really a coin flip either. It's a decent 2-player advantage, but they're just not interested.
Yeah, I think they're just weighing that if they happen to fail the execution, that's the end of the map. So probably don't want to take that risk when, as you said, they could just try to angle for the mid reset here. As Uber, though, going to come in from Hubba, only 75 on Speedy. Now 80, jump forward. Gun's going to go down quickly, but no cap time coming through.
Psy's dead. Psy is dead in the grave. That's the first frag, and that's not the frag you want to happen. Speedy, 5% away from getting his Uber. They've lost 2 explosive classes. Gun is the one who has to block. They will finally use the Uber. Fruit in the corner. Bottom one might be the first to fall. No, Zam is going to be the first one to fall after the Uber gets popped. They have very little left in the tank to deal with this. Witness Gaming, surely they don't lose this one. They will indeed get the cap 4-2 in their favor here on Granary.
Yep, so picking it out, no no inexplicable upset like we might have been expecting or, concerned about coming in from the Preds, but yeah, when that Uber came out from Speedy, just not able to clean up enough of those kills. So, easy collapse for Witness in the post-fight, and they go up 1-0 here.
Yep. I think realistically, I don't think anyone is, crazy surprised here. I mean, I think the crazy surprises were last week when they took each other's maps, but considering the fact that, Darkest Night, this is Witness Gaming's pick. Darkest Nights, they don't really play Granary at all. They decided to go for the product ban instead. It would be really difficult to actually win this map for them, and that's why it's a BO3. You don't have to win your opponent's map, you just gotta win yours. So probably brushing it off, just moving on. They've been playing a decent amount of Bagel, so I imagine their confidence is going to be there, but Witness Gaming definitely happy that this time around they are not losing their map pick, so definitely happy to have that safety net for this BO3. As it's time to move on to Bagel, but we do have some logs to go ahead and take a peek at and take a look at the damage in the kill department and see who are the trendsetters here for this match. Anything immediately catch your eye when you take a peek at it?
Let's take a peek here. I mean, most of the scouts sitting at the top, not too much of a surprise, really. I mean, Speedy picking himself up 3 kills. But, not really too much. I mean, I'd say, honestly, the most thing I was surprised about was how close that game was. Felt like there might have been a couple times where if Darkest Nights in that last round had been able to maybe execute a little better, they could have tied it 3-3 and really threatened to take that map back, but otherwise things went pretty much, I think, as you would expect, given that it was Witness's pick.
Yeah, I mean, there's only a very small amount of differences really when it comes to things here and there. Both scouts having a positive KD on the side of Witness Gaming going to be a pretty big boon for them. Same could be said with their actually the flank in general. Honestly, when you think about it, it makes sense. When you compare the flanks in particular, that's the only real differences that you have in terms of having a presence. The DPM kind of averages out, I think, in terms of who gets more, etc. But just being alive, it makes sense when you think about the amount of times that Witness Gaming went for plays to go behind to just drag people back in general. I think there were 3 separate times, one of them leading to a round conversion, which probably back caps are one of the reasons why you have some of these games look as even as they do, even though there's a gap in the scoreline. So I guess that kind of makes sense that that's the only really big differences that you kind of see, at least in my eyes. But realistically, when you think about these two teams, every single time you look at a log between them, it's there's hardly any giant gaps, and that's because there's no 5-0 rules. I think they're pretty close to each other, so I'm excited to see what Bagel brings.
Yeah, interesting. I'll be interested to see these two teams on Cawthor. As you said, there's not going to be any backcapping going on. As actually, the other thing from those logs I did kind of notice looking into it is that Speedy with less deaths than Hubba, 4 more Ubers, and yet still losing it, by that score. Obviously, as you mentioned, Logan getting that 1 spy back out going to be big good, but lots of behind pressure. I mean, sometimes that was Caps just getting caught out behind in an odd position. That's why he had, significantly more deaths than Psy did, but ultimately Cawthor going to be a little bit more straightforward in how it's played. So I'm personally speaking, I haven't really seen much, 6s on Bagel just because I'm not a, more of a Highlander guy. So I'm interested to see how it plays since I've had some experience on the map, just playing some 4s with some friends, and I enjoy it. So personally invested to see how this turns out.
I think it's slowly turning into a favorite for a lot of the teams in terms of just playing in general. A lot of the times you'll see teams that are very much anti-Koth, but you're turning it. Even those teams that are anti-Koth are beginning to just like, they're fine with Bagel. Like no cough except Bagel. Bagel is their exception. So it's unsurprising to see it. I think season upon season upon season, it's one of the maps that you never like, oh, we really didn't get to see much of that map this season. Like, no, it's pretty much always played. So unsurprising to see it here. Definitely excited to, like we said very early on, I think in some of the scrims that they played, I think they played this on Tuesday. It was even. I mean, scrims are scrims, right? So you can only, like, you can't take too much out of them because, you're trying stuff, you're not 100% prepped for, like, a match or anything like that, so maybe you're not on point as you'd usually be. But I think with how the other matches have gone, whether it's the regular season or the BO3 they played last week, I think it definitely... There's reason to believe that this is probably going to be as close as all the other maps have been, and that just makes it even harder to predict. As we are moving on to predictions, Koth is notoriously the most difficult thing to get the scoreline right on, because a 4-0 could be, a full-on lockout, the other team didn't cap once, or a 4-0 could be overtime happening every single round, but one of the teams is just a little bit unlucky and weren't able to convert anything at the end of the day. So I'm expecting things to be close, but how things will land, that's a whole other question. Honestly.
Funny you say that, because unlike 5CP, you're guaranteed to get at least one of the numbers right in a Koth prediction. Winning team's got to have 4.
That's true. I think the winning team will get 4 rounds.
Indeed, yeah. Never been wrong.
Unless the config is wrong, and then you have to pause for half an hour, and then a team forfeits. But if that doesn't happen, then
one team gets rolled 3-0 and just gives up right there.
Yeah,
just to spite us.
That's a callback for both these teams playing their regular season match, because that's what happened.
Is it? I noticed it had gone in as a forfeit, but I don't know the full.
It was a wrong config, and they had disputes over it. Blah blah blah. They said, "Screw it, it's too late. It's a regular season. Who cares?" And it didn't get finished. But we're not gonna have that tonight. Not having that tonight. But for the actual scoreline, I think it's gonna be really close. I think that Darkest Nights haven't played too bad on Bagel. The only thing is it has been on display, so if Witness Gaming did any homework about, like, tendencies that might be happening, like flank plays, the way they did the forwards, like, where they like to take their Ubers, etc., they could try to put in some counterplay to get an edge there, but I don't know if they've done that at all. So I don't know if if they are going to be surprised with what Cozy is bringing to the table. But assuming, like, without that, I think that Darkest Nights probably have a decent chance here to do pretty well. I mean, there are a lot of G6 alumni on the side of Witness Gaming, which were very, very good at Bagel, one of their best maps, so they definitely have the knowledge to adjust where necessary. So I'd be hard-pressed to predict a lot of, like, non-overtime-ish rounds, but I'll say like a 4-3 for the side of Darkest Nights at the end of the day. I think either way, we're probably going the distance here.
All right, split desk then. I think I'm going to go for a 4... Maybe I'm selling them short, but I'm going to go for a 4-1 on Witness Gaming here. I was doing some looking at the matches these two teams played since they played each other last week, and since then, Cozy dropped 2 rounds on Bagel to GCF, whereas in their match against Furio, Witness took 3 rounds off of Furio on Product, which, different map, but, it is Koth. Some of the same skill sets are going to transfer over, so I think Witness kind of may be on a Koth upswing right now. I think the rounds are going to be close, a couple double overtimes, but I think they're going to go Witnesses more often than not.
It probably comes down to the forward holds. I think that's the biggest disparity I see between a team's, like, skill level and, like, their ability to actually get time off the clock. Is if you don't have the forward holds down, it doesn't matter how good you are at, like, coordinating, like, these house plays or, like, just having better DM and spam than the other team. I think because there's more than one way for you to try to execute a forward hold and the way you position your team, it can be really hard for teams to, like, have a default and it be, like, safe. You do, in a way, like, doing homework on the way that a team holds can be pretty important, and having that adjustment on the fly to be able to be like, oh, they're doing this, that, or the other in their forward holds, this is how we should break it instead. Or vice versa, maybe, you should be doing your forward hold slightly differently to abuse the way they're trying to break it more often than not. So, I think that's probably the aspect where the experience from some of the previous G6 players on the side of Witness Gaming are definitely going to come into effect, and I don't have any worries for them, I think, that much in the long term. which is definitely where I think that maybe you're right. They do have enough in the tank to really take it here in a definitive fashion. But either way, it's not going to be too much longer until we're able to see what happens. We are going live here on the second map in this BO3 here on Bagel between Witness Gaming and Darkest Nights.
Dingo with a super fast rollout, already getting into little right garage area, but Logan getting forward on point. A little bit more forward presence coming out from Witness right off the bat, trying to wrestle that space a little bit more. No real big moves though. Yet both teams just feeling each other out.
Yeah, I think both these teams are definitely opting for the standard strategy of don't do anything until the cap unlocks, because this cap goes so fast that even the smallest of victories by just like making a demo man weak or something means that you could get cap time in. High five dies, cap goes Witness Gaming's way. That's a mid fight. That's just how it goes. It's the little things. It's not something really big and glamorous for the whole team wipe. That's just how this mid kind of flows. But Uber available from both teams. Cozy, they got the respawner coming up. He'll be there for the post, but they got to start making moves now as the clock is ticking down. But side dies to a pipe from the side of Caps. That's going to buy even more time in Witness Gaming. Don't really got to do too much here. They could be extra greedy and could try to go for something here while there is less on the field, but they're just going to say screw it. Go for the 4-man while Sai's dead. They get the pop up into the air onto Hubba, but he's still holding on the Uber. He drops. The disrespect thinks they can hold on to it, but will not be so lucky, as not only do they lose fruit as well, so it's going to be even extra hard to apply spam to buy time for Hubba to really get there. So Cozy, very successful with that 4-man sack.
Thought there was a pause, but no, Logan was just standing still for a really long time.
And he just wants a scout speed. Oh no, I guess he's just chilling, knows nothing's happening. But Cozy, they've arrived, they have the Uber, mind the traps on either side of the point, set up by the side of Caps. Clear one side, gotta be mindful of the other, but don't really want to use their Uber quite yet. They know that, oh yeah, here comes the 4-man, that's why. Also because Hubba is really far back, but Speedy down to 4 HP. He gets dropped to 4 and then almost did the same thing that Hubba did, but they lose side in the thick of it as well, so they get a lot of frags here, but they lose 2. That means that this free push that's going to come out from the side of WG going to be pretty good. The fact that High Five died, gets his spawn extended by 3 seconds. I guess that's not the biggest deal in the world, but definitely not going to be there in time to start pressuring as Witness Gaming. They have their full team, only 15% away from having the Uber, and they're already out through bottom right, taking ground over by their own house, and get in a position to try to see if they can retake this corner, maybe even use their Uber if it looked good enough.
Yeah, I mean, Speedy on 70, so they do have to go somewhat soon if they want to take advantage of that Uber ad right there. Good damage coming out onto Baba, though, but yeah, I'm going to force back a little bit. Speedy gonna have now, so Uber had basically lost.
That pipe to Gungan, though, so that's a cap conversion. It's a little thing. Just pipe to Scout, congratulations, you get the point. And now the team that is in the driver's seat right now just completely flips around. They're healing a bit, it's going to take a sec, but eventually they'll find an avenue to try to work with. They're trying to get on the cap, maybe force an Uber exchange. I know Gungan's really gone for that before. But just getting a lot of damage, no bombs come in. Finally, Uber Exchange comes out, finds an opportunity to get some damage on one of the scouts, but they're actually, the damage is not, that is not enough damage. I think he ran out of scatter. They finally get the force. Dingo dies over on the side of the flank. Quacks barely lives, and this Uber is way better for the side of Witness Gaming. So a bit of mis-execution there from the side of Gungan will make his team lose the fight there just a tad, and looking like a forward hole from the side of Witness Gaming. They have the point, they're getting in position. They lost really no one in that fight, so locking things down, and Cozy have to break this without very many casualties.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to bust through. Down on the lower side is Darkest Nights, and not gonna find much at all. Speedy forced to back up to spawn alone. Only survivor of that attempt right there. They do find Caps and Quacks right there, so maybe the faster spawns could let them take a 6v5 back in. Not a whole lot of time left either, so gotta keep that in mind, as there's definitely gonna be some urgency on the side of Darkest Nights as they walk back in here.
Yeah, sometimes about the fight of second chances. There's 2 people not available means that no forward hold will happen, and Caps isn't even barely there to get arrowed, and he finally gets it now, but definitely no traps available. But they have to be mindful about this Uber ad. It's 15%, and they might just want to use it to buy time. They were really in dire straits from the side of Darkest Nights, and as Uber comes out, no cap time available as they're sitting right on it. And damned if you do, damned if you don't. You want to run away to avoid the Uber, but you need to be on the point, and that could put you in threat of the Uber. So easy round conversion from the side of Witness Gaming. And honestly, I think that round all comes down to that Uber exchange to win it right. I think the forward hold, normal. The approach of trying to, force this Uber with down so much time, normal. It was just the exchange kind of screwed things over for the side of Darkest Nights, and Witness Gaming will take the first round.
the only cap they got came off of the Uber drop from Havada there too. So really a lot left to prove for Darkest Knights here, as you know, as you said, those, you know, one little thing can tip a mid in your favor. Already getting some damage there, forced back, and that might just be it.
Yep, a little bit damage. They're trying to show face. Sai really weak. Sai's dead. Cap goes Red's way. Able to overall be a trade. Botmo will die on the side. A couple red health players on both sides. Gungan really aggressive. Dingo behind. Wants a pack. I don't think he knows the Hubba is literally right there. Finally around the corner. One rocket. Oh, the air shot doesn't quite connect. He goes for two of them, doesn't quite hit. They really want to get this medic. It will find Quacks and Caps, but Hubba will barely escape. High five significant chase will not find an angle, so they don't quite get what they were looking for, but they do need to get the cap. They get some players at the last second to make sure that they can go ahead and get this forward hold underway. Got some stickies laid out to prevent them from finding an optimal landing position for the soldiers. But the Uber available for both these teams, so we'll see how long it takes for Witness Gaming to finally pull the trigger and use it. They maybe want to go for a force instead, depending. Kind of depends on how much damage they take when they finally bust through one of these doors. Rotating to a different side, they're finding some of the flank members. Dingo, 11 HP, finally using the Uber, busting through. Gonna lose Quacks, but will they drop anyone else from the side of Cozy? A couple of red health players, Caps down to 1 HP, gets sticky down by the side of side. One player behind, unable to get the frag on the Dingo, and overall, they broke the forward hole, but will immediately have to scurry back to their own spawn. As sure, they cycled the Ubers, but once again, still a forward hold, and now you have one less tool to actually use to break through these doors unscathed.
One less tool, one less minute on the clock. Darkest Knights looking a lot more solid this round than the last, able to really have a solid exchange right there. Come out ahead as, again, pressure in from the lower side for Witness Gaming. Gonna gain some ground. The Kite's going to come back to the point. So forward hold broken. Gungan and Dingo both hit up low there. Going to have to run for their lives. Dingo backs up to the pack. Gungan getting beamed, but point presence now likely in favor of Witnesses. Caps jumping, gets hit up low. Not going to go down.
Yeah, a little bit of damage onto both sides. Bomb coming from Dingo onto Havada. Surfs over towards the pack. No one's with him, but he gets the arrow on him, so is able to get the frag. Losing one there in bot mode is going to be a bit favorable for the side of Darkest Knights. If they can survive through this, Quacks as well, because they lost the point. If they can at least hold on to this, despite being so weak, they can fight a second time with respawn advantage. Side, he goes for a man fight, will eventually fall, and overall Uber exchange comes out, trying to find an extra frag on a Logan, will succeed. High five will live, eats an arrow, and is fine to fight for another day. But with the kills that they got on the Witness Gaming, that should be enough to get a little bit extra pressure on the cap, but they're still holding on to it at least for a little while. Damage onto Fruit, finally bombing in onto Hubba. Both rockets against the wall, willing to collect that medic, and now Speedy playing a little bit extra safe. Falling back, not on the point with his team quite much, but Sack comes in. Went a bit forward, might be regretting it, will indeed explode. Probably did not expect the counter Sack to come in at the time it did. I think he was expecting it and then got a bit relaxed and will get punished for that. And Caps gets the kill on the Gungan as well, escapes with his life. It's a good play from him to make things more difficult for the point holders, as I mean, they're not going to have Speedy or Sai for a long time, and Gungan the same, so easy point conversion back in the side of Witness Gaming's favor. They still have a lot of time to work off the clock, so they got some work to do, and if they can hold on long enough, they can get an Uber out of this. But Sam, really early in. I don't think he caught the memo that his team wasn't quite there yet, and that's going to be almost a feed. Maybe get maybe get Quacks or something, but overall, no, it'll be High Five be the one that dies. They're getting so much damage, but not really too much of their name in the kills department. Dingo might be one to fall as well, but no, we'll back up, get the pack. But all this is just buying more time for Witness Gaming to finally get their Uber as a tool that they can use. I'm sure they're very happy with the situation, and Darkest Knights, they got to do something different here.
Yeah, it felt like just a really weak on the focus there, as you mentioned. So many low health bars with no one actually going down. A little bit of point presence coming in from Gungan, but so easy to block with the Spire right in the middle of the cap. As it looks like Zam and Dingo going to try to get forward in on the flank, go right past it's Quacks right there, but Logan going to be the one going down. Bot mode next.
They lose their scouts.
Yep, both scouts dead. Zam going to be the trade, but the Uber goes off, and they're not going to be able to walk back in on this. Point back in favor of Speedy now with full ad to defend.
Yeah, they both immediately exploded, and no scout speed on the Uber means they just sit there. Like, Caps is just sitting there like, I mean, I can't really do anything here. I can't get this fourth out of Speedy. He's way too far back. The soldiers were unavailable to actually bomb. I think Quacks used most of his rockets on the Dingo there inside the house, and I'm not sure where Fruit was, but either way, unable to really do anything there. to get this force out of Speedy. They're actually giving him a little bit of space here. Speedy playing back, expecting a 4-man. They will recognize the positioning and instead of a 4-man, will go for a house play. So really good job, heads up play from the side of Witness Gaming, and now they're actually going for extra plays here. They're not going for Speedy. They recognize how far back he was in the thick of it and recognize that's not the play when you really need to go for. Finally able to get a couple frags with Uber, but it's not the kills you want per se. Caps will bomb Zam and probably die. Yeah, okay, that's a dead demo man. Logan, really aggressive, wants to spill on a Zam. Sai trying to help, will die. They got to get some cap time. They had to go forward here. I mean, they need the aggression, but it's not quite enough. As the cap time in favor of Darkest Knights made a Witness Gaming play at the last couple seconds there in a way that they probably didn't necessarily want to, but that's how it was. The last couple rounds as well. You know, sometimes you're put in a sticky situation because of the clock, and it will lead to a 1-to-1 game here on Bagel.
Really looking, I think there were both the mid-fight and that fight towards the end where both of the Witness Gaming scouts both just kind of exploded spontaneously, it felt like. That really felt like the difference in rounds is that, you know, just losing your scouts like that makes it so much, basically just forced to completely bail out on the point. Gave so much time over to Darkest Knights as, again, the mid going to slowly develop here. Cap getting a little forward on point, but will be forced back. Really no damage at all on either side.
And the cap's unlocked. We'll see who shows face here. Gungan getting a lot of cap time. Not really blocking it too much. They're actually able to launch an attack onto the flank, and because they turn around and maybe if they can help them, it just gives so much extra room that they already had so much room at the beginning. But the fact that they already had so much, and plus the flank play means there's enough room to go ahead and get that cap secured for the side of the Darkest Knights. Plus, they actually didn't even lose anyone. They got the kill on the Fruit, and then I think Logan or Bob Mode, one of the scouts as well, so pretty much unscathed in a 4v6 scenario, but things will reset. Uber available for both teams. Hubba and friends got to really go for something here to try to get the clock in their favor. They're trying to play on the point pretty aggressively, not really controlling the houses. Dingo is going to find himself in a soldier duel with Quacks. Logan coming over to help. Surely Dingo will die. Indeed, will turn that into a 2v1 pretty quickly, and the Uber eventually will come out from the side of Gungan. Running forward, gets the force onto Hubba. A couple flashes will take down Caps really low and getting back up to meet a pack. So trying to get some cap time, but double scatter guns onto Gungan, taking him out. So overall, 2 dead in favor of the side of Witness Gaming. Bomb from Hi-Fi, a lot of damage on Logan, but not quite enough to secure the frag. As there's weak players all around for the side of Witness Gaming, but it's going to be the dead players on the side of Darkest Knights that spell their end as they back up to spawn. Cap goes in favor of the red team, and enough room to go ahead and set up a forward hold here that Darkest Knights are going to have to try to break through.
Set up stickies on every single side of that lower door right there, as that is where Darkest Knights are looking to try to bust through from. Jump through from Dingo, gonna help start pressing the back. Cap dies in the middle of everyone. Zam gonna be the trade out, but no defensive demo there. Gonna be a nice find for Darkest Knights as they've broken past the forward hold right there. High five and Fruit gonna trade out there over in the left side, and now 5v5 again as both spawns have come up. Really forward there from Logan, gonna get caught out, but Quacks getting in deep behind, gonna eventually get taken out. Dingo finds him hiding, maybe waiting for an arrow, and it looks like this should go in favor of Darkest Knights, but both teams have Uber.
Yeah, they're trying to go for the exchange. A bit of a family Uber. A couple of people flashed. This thing's, for the most part, fine. Moving over to the side of the flank, able to kill high five, so it's going to be a oh, holy surf from bot mode. He escapes that just barely with 15 HP. They're trying to pistol him down. Dingo bombs and lands onto a trap that Cap just set up, so 2 soldiers down after they get that cap conversion. Witness Gaming, they're in a pretty good spot. Very little spam to work here. Gungan and Zam are going to have to do a lot of the heavy lifting here with the less spam removed. They got to go for something here, but no, we'll just end up dying. So maybe bought a couple seconds, if that. But overall, pretty easy retake from the side of Witness Gaming, as the initiation from Cozy was a bit too aggressive and netted them too many deaths. As High Five in early, team not quite in yet, but will not get too punished for it as their attention is a bit split. Overall, even at the end of that exchange, so not really going to be able to have any ad to work off of to do extra bullying here, but they're getting a little bit of positioning here to be able to walk to their own side of the cap, and Gungan's going to go ahead and get some cap time. Quickly blocked by the side of bot mode, but bomb comes in from the side of Dingo. 3 people over on one part of the map, distracting as much as possible. Overall 1-for-1 trade. Force comes out, able to get to the Force, and Caps. He's trying to go for something. Side drop. Caps dying. 3v3 scenario. One sort of behind. Nice shot from Dingo, able to kill Hubba. Will not die. Gets flashed at the last second from the side of Speedy. And quite a play there to put things in a favorable position for them.
Quacks maybe try to block the cap. No, not going to be long for this world. But the cap's still not in. That was a lot of time that Witness got on the clock. Some that cap not coming through.
Yeah, even though things are dire there at the end for the side of Witness Game, and they did chew a lot of time off the clock, like you said. So Speedy with a small ad, not really going to come too much into favor in the next engagement unless it's a very, very long one. But forward hold out for the side of Cozy, so we'll see how they try to break through it. Fruit immediately bombing into the right-hand side. They're trying to apply as much spam as possible over to this platform area now. Both sort of jumping over. Overall, 1-for-1 trade, favorable for the side of Witness Gaming if they can play off that respawn advantage. Zam behind will eventually get scattered down by the side of Logan, finding a way more than he was prepared for. So this Uber has got to be the thing that saved them. I mean, they're already down 2. They're not able to really block this, but if they can find the timing to find an opening, yeah, to just use it to buy extra space, it'd be really, really good, or at least a threat to get some cap time. You know, you can't play too aggressive here, but they're gonna foreman, they're gonna block it, they gotta be careful of the Uber, they're gonna try to block it barely. Logan's not being, the Uber comes out, find an opening, disconnected, he juggled up in the air, does eventually get the flash on, and Caps will die, unable to find the kill onto Hubada. If it went really deep, a lot of damage to Logan, will not trade that out, so overall, it'll just be a 1-for-1 trade in the explosive classes with Uber available for the side of Hubada. They just lost this, but only 22 seconds left on the clock. The only way that this could go wrong for them is if, oh my god, the air shot onto side. I saw that from bird's eye view. Dingo going in, trying to find a way for a force. Recognizes it's not an opportunity, just kind of jumps way to the side. Is Uber's still not used, I guess. You know, the side of Coast, even though they've lost a couple people, at least they bought some time, but they really need a force here. They have a skeleton crew remaining. It's me alone. He's gonna get pistoled down by the side of bot mode. Uber finally comes out. They recognize it's a free Uber. Just collect the remaining frags. Don't let him scatter around. Sai in the jump head area. Just craters from the rocket from Quacks. There's no positioning. There's no cap time. Dingo's trying to just get aggressive and see if he can get a market guard in the last second. But yeah, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place here. The last final moments from the side of the Darkest Nights is once again the time advantage just kind of kicks you at the tail end of things, and the initial removal of time off the clock from the Witness Gaming in the beginning of the round is really the thing that sealed the deal to net them this 2-1 lead.
Yeah, you think in that time where, you know, they did win the fight towards the middle of the round, if they cap that a little bit earlier, probably buys them another 20 seconds worth of time, really. Maybe they're still in that round, but just maybe not thinking of it in the moment, as now we move into round 4 here, 2-1 up for Witness.
Yeah, we'll see if, I think the mids are going to probably play about the same that we've kind of seen. Playing it slow, not doing anything. Cap's about to unlock, doesn't now, so now they're actually going to try to put some damage to see if they can get a little bit of an advantage. Fruit's actually showing up inside, or not inside, but outside to try to apply some extra spam. They once again go for this flank play on the side of Darkest Night.
3,
everyone. Not only does speed take so much spam, but they go for a 2-man play inside of the right house with their flank and just get destroyed, immediately melted. Didn't get a single frag. I didn't even see. Like, did their health even get low over in that house?
No, not at all. Almost no damage done. Bot mode just ran through. I think he got 3 without needing to reload.
So that's a very dominant victory from the side of Witness Gaming. For these mids, Darkest Nights have to go back to the drawing board, but before they even get to that, they really got to find a way to get this force out of Hubada. You know, try a spot where he is it worth it for a 4-man? You tease the cap, but Hubada's close now. They could go for it, but or too late.
Oh, Speedy popped
dead.
up. No,
yep.
Thank you.
Back into the wall. They get a couple maybe consolation frags. They got Zam. They still have some people lingering around. They got Fruit, which is something, but to salvage at the last second if they can't find a way into Hubada. But they might. He's down to 27 HP. They use the final rocket from High
finds the rocket.
Will get it. So technically a victory from the side of Witness Gaming, but not big enough for you to actually hold on to this point long term. Never mind. It's not even a victory. Hello? It's not even a victory. They end that fight over in the enemy team side of the map, and that just makes it even easier for the side of Koji to just launch themselves forward or find themselves able to just get frag after frag after frag, even though they lost so many of their own. So they find themselves recollecting the cap. They're going to be able to maybe eventually even out the time and putting themselves in a forward hold to maybe even put things in their advantages. The cities get cleared. Found themselves through at least a little bit, a couple bits of damage on the explosive classes that are trying to work themselves in. Quacks will die, so we'll not be so lucky to survive through all that. Or no, that was Fruit that died. Quacks is behind, actually, and could be the thorn in their side. He bombs in, gets the kill on his Zam, who needed the arrows. Oh, Speedy! He surfs the rocket, but surfs it into the enemy team and falls. They've given up a lot, though. Overall play advantage in favor from the side of the Darkest Nights as they continue to fight this. One person behind as well, High Five. Spamming off the house of Fruit has respawned, is there. Extra rockets onto him. Hubada, very weak. Red HP will die. They're giving up their lives for the medic frag. I'm sure you do that every day of the week. Asai just needs to get out of here before he is a very, very late Demo Man death, but they're going to go ahead and skip this cap. They got to wait a little bit for their people to respawn, but actually, I think waiting for them to respawn just means that Cozy just gets to hold onto it because the kills are so staggered. It's a bit of an opening, but Speedy surfs the rocket away from Quacks, but because they surf back and make sure that Speedy's safe, cap conversion goes in favor of red. But with one soldier down, given up, it might not be that difficult for blue to go ahead and retake, so we'll see how they execute this. 4-man sack, maybe?
Ooh, that's on our shot come through on that bomb onto Fruit, but
they're so weak.
Dead Sign next, yeah. Low health bars everywhere. Bot mode dancing for his life. Gonna just barely not make it out. The rocket from High Five connects. Dingo goes down as well, as it looks like, again, they will stall this cap out for the spawns. However, this time, no one from Witness able to really block that once they choose to get it. Spawns are going to be up. Cap comes through. And Speedy, decent ad over Hubba now.
Gungan might die, yeah, gets killed by Quack, so overall they got a player to work with. High Five bombing in onto Hubba inside the house, 20 HP. Doesn't have Uber quite yet to use it, but doesn't need to so far, but they're really aggressive on the side of Cozy. They have an Uber to work with. Finding Caps potentially over on the side of the platform, able to get that frag. Couple people lingering around behind. Sam gonna die in the jump pad area. Quack saved by it, and Logan behind, gets the kill on a Dingo, finds a lonesome combo all by themselves. Sai gets the kill onto Logan, but Pipe onto Quacks. He's barely alive, just with a fragment of HP left remaining, and so many people have died on the side of Cozy. They don't really have enough in the tank to actually prevent this trap from going in Hubba's favor. They can't even do a sack. They're not healthy enough. No positioning, no HP. Still have this Uber holding on for the side of the red team to get this cap, trying to teeter-totter themselves back and forth with the time here, and this is probably looking like a... I mean... Actually, no, this won't even be an overtime round, probably. They have this Uber to work with Witness Gaming. Cozy, Dark Knights, they gotta execute this really, really well. They know the Hubba is really passive. They're over on the side of this left house area from the blue perspective. They gotta be careful. Getting some cap time. No Uber used quite yet. They're fine with the cap time. Looking like they might eventually use it. They're blocking it at least for now. A little bit of damage onto the scouts. Not too phased though, as they will get this cap conversion. Teeter tottering back and forth. Quacks finding a duel. Gets the kill on the Dingo. Gets the pack too. Zam will kill him though. Oh, nice rocket on his Zam, slowing things down. He barely escapes, and that's enough room for them to go ahead and get this cap conversion. They haven't even used the Uber yet.
It was really big for them to get the cap back, but Quacks just, you know, nuts up and gets them the point right back. Draws so much pressure, finds the frag that now Speedy will have Uber, so it'll be an exchange here. But in the time lead for Witness now as a result of that hold.
Yep, just a little bit of a spam war still. Both teams have at this point, so they can use it if they decide they need to. A little bit of scout duel on the side of the point. Gungan really weak. Mind the spam coming in from the side houses. Can't underestimate it. Sai desperately needs an arrow. Gonna buy a lot of room for the side of Witness Gaming and make sure they can keep holding on to this point. Eventually, Gungan's gonna say, screw it, I need to use it. And yeah, that's exactly when he does it. Gets a couple flashes on the Caps. Maybe committing on him? No, just a couple flashes of it was going to be at least a little bit better to buy some room. Zam getting on top of the point. Eats a sticky though, got to be careful of the Caps demo man is Dingo. Bombing it with a side of High Five, making the entirety of Witness Gaming back up, so they will get a lot of cap time off it, but they're actually losing some players off of it as well. High Five caught in a place where he doesn't want to be. Overall, 3 dead on the side of Darkest Nights, and they got to stay to block this cap, but they can't stay because they have a giant player decided to work with Gungan going into the side house, but Sai is unable to get onto the cap, and once again, the last end there, I mean, time just ticked off the clock.
Took way too long for them to use that Uber. They left themselves 20 seconds left where you're just going to have to run at it. They just exchanged at 50. You give yourself a little bit more, you know, wiggle room there to work with. But we are on match point right now for Witness Gaming. Should they win this next one, they will secure themselves that second seed. So really Dark Knight's got to dig down and find something, you know, maybe have that flank fight go a little bit better. You know, not let Quacks get away with so much, as it looks like there's going to be a little bit of aggression on that side. Held pretty solidly, but they are going to be forced back out. Jump coming in from Quacks, and again rolls the flank. Dingo going down, and that should be the advantage that they need.
Yeah, this mid-fight was really important for the side of Darkness Knights. With how the rounds have been going, their pathway to victory probably has to start with a mid-win. And now at this point, I think the only way they can, like, unless they really, like, hardcore change one of their strategies in the way that they're playing to kind of throw Witness Gaming for a loop, they need to find, like, a really wicked forward holder, something just, like, locks Witness Gaming down for, like, at least a minute straight. But, once again, going for this house play.
Quacks again finds kills. He gets the trade this time, but that looked like a 2v1, so the fact that he's able to trade at all is a good thing. Really sitting up, doing a lot in that house right there. And High Five gonna go next. Gets the Uber out, though. Speedy forced back. Will use it in exchange. Caps already dead. Bot mode gonna get collapsed on. Logan trying to play behind. Sure that
we threw him for a loop there.
Might get out, yeah.
Just faked which direction he was going, and they totally bought it. They went back for him, and they said, nope, never mind, going the other way, and will escape with his life. So, will be ready to go as the rest of his team respawns. Slight uber ad from the side of Cozy, but not really a big deal. It's kind of really negligible, the size of it. In fact, it's decreasing as we speak, but they really need this forward hold to work out from the side of Cozy if they want to keep the time on the clock and actually convert it into their favor. But they've lost their explosive classes. They've killed two as well, but...
They're so low. 7 health
Speedy?
on Sam inside.
Where is Speedy standing? Hello? No one's with him. He's out in no man's land, just dies to Quacks. I mean, Hubbard is weak. They'll get the kill onto him, but the side of Witness Gaming, at least there's no more forward hold to deal with. Gungan just running in at 1 HP, gets scattered down for bot mode's first shot. Quacks at 4 HP, that's 3 more than you need. Getting some cap time, but Cozy can't really do anything about it, and they break the forward hold in one swoop.
Yeah, just really scattered play from Darkest Nights there. Everyone was so hurt. Speedy on his own, Psy on his own, Zam on his own, all, united we stand, divided we fall, I guess, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, usually those fights are about, returning in the second try with some sort of advantage from the first one, but just taking it with the first one, that's the exact opposite of what I said the win condition was going to be for Darkest Nights is. High five, kills Quacks in the house, will get chased down by Logan, so overall 1-for-1, Caps gets a kill into Speedy, which is huge. A Doman kill onto the medic of all things. They get the kill into Hubba, Zam, salvage. They're actually able to collect a decent amount of Witness Gaming frags. It's just Caps left alive and started out really, really strange. I guess they just walked on top of the point and that's why Speedy died. They just weren't really aggressive. No, actually, no, I see his metagun. He just got piped across the map. So maybe...
Yeah, we call those Art Suspanian pipes where I come from.
Yeah,
they
just a little bit...
always find you.
A little blind over the point. Oh, that'll do it in, but they're
I
definitely
want to point out, you said
that.
they had to change something. The red goes down, so they all walk back in, and suddenly they find themselves winning the point. So maybe, a little bit more aggression might be the key from Darkest Nights here, as that's what really salvaged them that play. You lose your red like that could be worst case scenario, but instead they turn it into something positive. Dingo getting forward in that house, going to hit everyone really low, but ends up being the one going down himself. That is Fruit going to hold up in there, as it looks like the Cap's going to go back in favor of Witness Gaming. Not if Syed and the rest of the team have anything to say about it, as they will defend it, but only a pixel left of cap time, and Logan takes it eventually.
Yeah, not enough spam in their arsenal to go ahead and deal with that, but high five. Gonna fall, trying to go for a play, unsuccessful. That'll buy room for them to get on the Caps, which is huge. Donegan weak, Uber available, 10% ad. Can they get it? Hubba juking, driving. Try and find a way to get the Uber. Dies at 98%. Unavailable to have the Uber at his disposal as the rest of Witness Gaming trying to find a way in. First one, actually get the pistol kill on the Zam. Dingo needs an air as well. Sai is probably gonna die. Last rocket from Fruit will indeed collect that frag, and Logan, he's out here. He's trying to jump and buy some time, but will eventually die as well. So at least they get, they got 1 or 2 frags there, but overall, you gotta be kicking yourself dying at like 97% there. Could be a totally different fight. And now, Cozy in a pretty good spot. They got the ad to work with for the longevity of things. They got the time in their favor. The only thing that Witness Gaming has to run off of is Sai is not here. You have like 5 seconds until he's here. There's no traps. What are you gonna do?
He's coming, Sai is here. But in come the jumps right there. Heard one of them had to get damaged, but no, Fruit and Quack. Speedy's dead. Yeah, they find the med there. How about it traded out in exchange? But that's probably better for the attacking team, all things considered. Although they are going to lose everyone for it. That is a wipe with 30 seconds left.
It's
However,
it's like, yeah, okay, fight a second chances. It's okay. Well, we did something that allows a second fight to be good. It's okay. We'll work off this. But it's like, oh wait,
20 seconds left. 15
there is
now.
no second fight. It's all about the time that was chewed off earlier on. It's too late. I mean, you really got to coin flip this real hard right now. This is going to be really rough for the side of Witness Gaming. They have to pull something out of their hat right now if they want to be able to get this round. They're able to get a little bit of cap time, giving up some HP. Caps is going to die maybe? No, Bottom first to fall. And they get so weak, they get pushed so far back, unable to be healthy enough to block it. And Cap wait, is my HUD broken? I feel like my HUD's broken. I feel like it's
3-2 Witness.
But Cozy was owning the point there.
Yeah.
Do I brain damage? Do I need to go to bed?
You might. Yeah, it was 1-3. Cozy had the point, so they won the round. And that is their second round.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
it had been 3-1 Witness. Cozy had the point, so it's now 3-2 Witness.
I think I saw the wrong number change, so I am delirious. I do need to go to bed, but not quite yet, as we are leading up to a close game here, but we're still on match point. Both these teams, they're getting a bit more aggressive before the cap is actually unlocking, maybe throwing the timing off a bit. But overall, not going to lead to any many frags or actually any damage on the board quite yet until maybe now they're starting to get aggressive. Zam, oh, Quacks finds him again. Overall, just a trade though, able to collect that frag, but lots of cap going in Red's favor as they're trying to hold down the fort still, but the kill on the gun gun's going to seal the deal. No scouts available for the side of Cozy. The Soldier's trying to go for a play. Overall, some trades from the side of Dingo on to or actually no, on either side of the map. one direction one way, one the other, but High Five will eventually die. A little bit of a late death, and Sai just running forward. Both Ubers available. Nice pipes on bot mode. And
another
Sai's like, I'm done with this. I'm just walking forward, dude. Screw it. And
every
collects
time
2
they
there
do
for his
that,
team.
it works.
Just it's Sai's world.
We're all just living in it.
So
No
Caps
forward
late
hold
death.
stored.
They're kind of here. They're forward and just
Kinda, yeah. Half forward hold coming out. Gonna be some pressure coming in from the main bot mode. Caught out in no man's land. Gonna get drilled down. That is gonna be Fruit getting hurt as well. Pressure coming in. Logan taken out in midair. Not sure if that was a sack or just some attempt at aggression, but not really gonna find anything.
Yep, 1 dead. I mean, with no kills as well, it means Caps, hello, get the memo. Your team's out, my man, and that is going to buy even more time off the clock. So maybe miscommunication there on what the deal was, but it's gonna bring Witness Gaming back even further to the drawing board, as they gotta wait for the Dillman before they even do this exchange, really. I mean, I guess they could do it early, kind of. No, he's here. He's arrived. He's getting the pack.
Just bleeds 10, 12, 15 seconds extra off the clock.
That's the time you could be looking back at when this round ends, but they're going through, milking a little bit, which is pretty good. Finally, Speedy, he popped at 7 HP. He almost melted there, but has the Uber to save him from a further death. But it does mean they can't end aggressively. He needs a pack, and the fact that he has to run back for a pack means that no one's healed on the point. They get so much cap time because they know that they can't actually block it properly. Doesn't cover it quite yet. Dingo will die, gets 2v1'd into the right house from Blue's perspective. High Five dying as well. Speedy finally gets sticky down by the side of Caps, and all that damage onto Speedy, I think, was a pretty big boon in their favor, leading them to get all this cap time, the lead into the post fight, and overall seals the deal, only having to sacrifice Fruit to go ahead and get that cap in their favor.
Milking's great when you don't take any damage, but sometimes you're better off having just popped immediately, that you can, stay in fights later. You're not forced to end in a more passive position, which is exactly what happened, as Zam gonna get melted walking right through, but Fruit will be the trade. Dingo in on
nice shot from
point.
Dingo.
Good. Yep, rocket onto Logan right there. Gonna give the numbers ad in favor of Darkest Knights right now. Gonna get healed up a little bit. Quacks deep in enemy territory. Gonna
Speedy
go down.
alone! They all went
jump
back
pad.
for Quacks. They left Speedy alone. They had like 3 people there 1 second, and the next he's just by himself. Hello? Now it's 3 people inside a corner. High Five, 1 rocket. Zam, can he find the angle? No, it's enough for the force. Doesn't need a help extra. Cozy,
Witness.
they had so much and they just gave it all away.
I probably would have liked to have held on to that Uber. Not too upset using it, though. Gonna still be pretty much dead, even with Speedy. A little bit for Uber due to his death. But Sai and Zam both going down, so time lead now gonna tick into Witness's favor right here. As Darkest Knights really got to be feeling the pressure right now.
All that time just felt like thrown in the garbage, is now they're having to break through this forward hole, and they might not even be clean enough to go, like, it might not even be clean enough where they can do it first try. They might have multiple tries, and at that point, you're back to like, oh, well, you have very little time left, so, good luck. But damage on Logan pushes him back, so they have some extra room here. Damage on a Caps as well to make sure he doesn't get to be that aggressive. Same can be said for Sai, though. Careful, bomb coming in. It's an arrow, still alive for now, and Quacks will take the bait, will indeed
Really
die.
clutch arrow there to keep Sai alive.
Yeah,
he was
that
dead
would've
to
been really
rights.
bad. That would have meant really, really tough damage output, but Red. Oh, they want to use Super? Oh, almost miscommunication on the timing of things. Caps gets in it as well, trying to sticky out. No, they shoot his sticky! They shot his sticky! He couldn't jump out! It just disappeared from under him! Or at least either that or he got body blocked. He went nowhere as soon as he jumped in the air. And that is going to be a giant misplay from the side of Witness Gaming. Just Uber exchange gone awry. Losing your Dylan right off the bat, and now back at your spawn. Cozy just got forward held. Now they're the one doing the forward holding.
The tone of voice you had when you said they shot his sticky makes me feel like there's some personal trauma there.
There is
That
some
maybe
personal
happened to
trauma
you.
there. There is some personal trauma there. They bomb through, trying to get some space. They're not dead to traps yet, but Quacks, oh, he's so weak. Fruit will be the first to follow, walking through man. Gungan and High Five behind. It's a meat grinder. Puppet and Quacks have nowhere to go. They just got to get a consolation frag on the side of Gungan, but that is going to be it. And now they're in a point for the side of the Darkest Knight, so they can finally maybe get this time back in their favor. Sai putting up a bit of a deeper trap to be that have to beware of, but we'll see if it comes into play. As once again, you're probably stuck between a rock and a hard place. You want to break through this forward hull, but you need to force this Uber. Okay, fight number 1, you're getting the force. Realistically, fight number 2, you're out of time. So you have to get the force and win afterwards somehow. So they really
gotta go fast here. You figure that there's probably a bit of a twitchy finger on the Uber for Speedy right here, given the time doesn't want to really have this, some kind of disaster happen. And there it is. Uber comes out, 20 seconds on the clock. Fruit already dead. A little bit of cap time. Cap's gonna get caught out. That's a bit of a late death there. Logan gonna keep his life. Zam dead as well. Gungan stuck in main, but gonna dance for his life. Gets Logan and Hubba killed. And it looks like we may see Darkest Knights digging deep and tying the score back 3-3.
That last, I think 2 minutes was a roller coaster of, I feel like both teams had like one major misplay that just like ruined everything for their time, for their clock. Just like in the garbage. But at the end of the day, the time before all that happened was a little bit favoring the side of Darkest Knights, so they're able to take it with only 30 or 38. It's not enough for the side of Witness Gaming to lead that into overtime, but we're back to another mid, probably once again going to be maybe a bit on the slower side. We have seen the side of Darkest Knights get a little bit more aggressive before the cap actually unlocks to try to throw the timing off and what Witness Gaming would initially expect, but actually they're going to be the ones to aggress. They get a lot of damage onto the side of Zam, and same could be said for the side of Speedy, so cap time in their favor. They had to go and make sure that their friends over on the side of left house are safe, and that gave them a little bit extra time. Dingo, bit aggressive, quacks behind him, gets scattered down on the side of Logan, so yep, gonna eventually lose that one player, and they're trying to block. Logan just does a full loop-de-loop around the point, just scatters down Gungan, and that's gonna be enough for them to secure this mid. And Cozy, I mean, in general, they're able to tie things up 3-3 in the scoreline, but they do not have the mids locked down by any sense of the word. Like, I think maybe one mid they won, kind of, and that's about it. It feels like everything else is...
They lost the first cap, but ended up winning it, like, 5 seconds on the cap. But even that, I don't think they hit the first cap. But I mean, that right house is Quax's throne right now, and Dingo is not stopping him from sitting in it.
Quax is just the king of mid right now. High five, bombing in. The Martyr for his team eats the kill to survive a little bit longer. Quax goes for the big play, gets the kill into Psy. They're able to apply enough spam to, kind of thwart this this attempt at trying to break through. The only thing they have to their name is a Quax death. So
they'll have 7 seconds, though, of 6v5 right now. I mean, obviously they've got the road up there. Quax does too, so maybe they can get a little aggressive. Doesn't look like that's going to happen, though. Quax is going to be able to get back in with the team.
It's still not there to spam them here, though. As they get through this door, Quack's not here to spam it, so they're trying to milk it, actually, off of it. And I think Witness Gaming recognized that. They're not really... Oh, damage on high five! Another sticky. Able to do it, so... Still enough stam in the tank to get a kill, but still enough to make them not hold it all the way. But Quax, he's going again! He's the king of that house and does enough damage.
The waddle force.
He's just still alive. Is he gonna... No, he doesn't kill Duncan, surely. Yeah, he does indeed die, but he did his job. He got the force. So,
gets the force without even rocket jumping.
Witness Gaming looks like they've already won this round. Like, the game's over at this point, unless they go crazy here. We've seen plenty of misplays itself, so it's not actually over. Bomb coming from Dingo.
Dingo went deep. Yeah, not able to find Hubba that gets the pack, and it's like nothing ever happened. Gungan and Psy next. Zam in trying to get what he can, but won't find anything. Speedy. Oh, yeah, it's...
I feel like I see that so much. Speedy just completely alone.
We saw something happen, but not what Team Darkest Knights, the Darkest Knights wanted there, as they are looking at a very steep hill to get back into this round.
Yeah, you gotta force this Uber with the stalemate, like the forward hold break, and then actually the second fight.
I'd come up spy here.
That. This is dire straits. Dingo eats a trap. It has the pack, so it's fine for now, but they're rotating over to apply extra spam. You might be the first to fall. It's fine for now. Needs an arrow. Fruits in the side house. Applying damage from there as well. So they're finally able to break through, but they gave up so much HP. They can't actually start fighting yet. They're just not healthy enough. They're finally getting buffed up a bit. Rotating over to the right house from their perspective. Putting some damage onto Quax and Logan. Zam will be the first to die, though. Bomb mode. Collecting that frag. Gonna make it really hard for them to go ahead and go for this. It's like, you want to... You need a sack here, but you also need a cap time. It's a deja vu of the first couple rounds we saw, where it's like, you want to do one thing, but the time, it's just running it down. You are in a rough spot right now. They got to do something here. They're not, okay, they're finally doing a 4-man. They're finally going for it. The force does indeed happen, maybe a little bit late on the side of having that 4-man kick out. Because you have an Uberad, but you also need to get cap times.
You also have 20 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, you want to be Ubered, but you don't want to be Ubered because you need to cap. And look at Witness Gaming. They are saying screw it. And they are going to find the enemy team. They get the force out. They find Fruit. There's no cap time quite yet. I mean, they're collecting frags. They have to run over to this point. Zam's trying to go over towards it. Quax might be a thorn him inside, though. Able to hit caps. Mine the scout flank. Trying to find a way to Speedy. Bot mode able to collect that frag. And they might get this cap, but they might be giving up too much for the next fight. Logan, see if he can get the kill on the side. They get the cap, sure, they needed to, but aren't unable to delay to allow Speedy and High Five to respawn. That might have been the thing kind of seals the deal. The fact that Speedy's not going to be there might make it a bit easier for Witness Gaming to just go ahead and recap this for free. They'll try their hardest. You know, you never know what can happen, but this is very advantageous to the side of Witness Gaming here in the next couple of seconds. They're just on it.
It's just one cap. That'll just be. They're gonna have to. They have to. You're just gonna have to fight and hopefully not die on this point. Quack's trying to get into right house as he has. Will do that. Up on the point though is Gungan, gonna force him out. Dethrones him in that house right there. That's one kill, a little bit of a foothold there. But the Uber's gonna come out and they're just gonna need to kite this for their lives. Gungan on top of the point, doing a good job. Nope, gonna take a lot of damage. Forces him off of it, tries to block it. Up next is Dingo, now up on it, gonna go down next. Cap comes through and it will be Witness Gaming with the 4-3 coming in to secure themselves second seed.
Another close game. Second seed a minimum for the side of Witness Gaming as Darkest Nights, Cozy, they have collected the third seed. They will indeed need to play weeks 7 and 8 to make sure they keep their third seed or don't accidentally lose it and get down to 4th or 5th or 6th. While the side of Witness Gaming, they will end up going on to play Freya later on, probably next week, I would imagine, to fight between second and first seed, but both teams will be moving on straight into the playoffs bracket and get a nice little break for weeks 7 and 8. Really close game.
I feel like there's a timeline, right, where this match is like a LAN final, and that the Red House is called Quacks off of it.
Yeah, he was definitely doing work there. They were definitely not prepared for what he had in store for them, and I don't think they had different soldiers like there at different points. Like at one point, High Five was there that was challenging Quacks. At a different point, it was Dingo. They tried to like change some things up and like do something different, especially with the level of aggression. Sometimes they're a little bit more on the passive side. Sometimes they weren't really aggressive, but either way, it was just like no one could enter it. And when they left to completely ignore it, it was just used as a way for Quacks to flank and get forces. So
last round, he's in there alone, waddles out directly into Speedy, gets the force, waddles further in, gets the pack, and like gets the force, and has the entirety of it focused on him without rocket jumping once.
Yep, I think that's probably why you know Bagel is one of those maps where even if you're an anti-Koth team, you're still probably happy to play it because the soldiers, they might complain a little bit on Viaduct, but maybe not so much on Bagel if you got all your stuff together. You can take a little bit of a look at the logs here, and because we have such a close game, once again, as no surprise to anyone, you can see a lot of stat lines that are relatively similar. There's some disparities here and there when it comes to damage. But honestly, I don't really think there's anything to comment too much about except for Caps, once again, very aggressive demo man, very, very high DPM, almost entering the 400 DPM club, which we saw last week. Not quite there yet, but maybe one of these matches will end up seeing it. But close scores, close stats, close all around, and hope this isn't the last time we see these teams face off against each other, as we're maybe potentially likely to see it in playoffs when that time rolls around, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, really looking at it, I mean, bot mode up, 42 kills, Logan 32, scout dominance, which you'd expect to see the winning team scouts highest up there, but bot mode pretty distinguished with that spot. 360 DPM on his own, close to 400 as well. So Witness just a little bit more solid gameplay overall. I mean, a lot of the rounds were close, but it just felt like consistently just coming out ahead like 60-40 every time. And then that last round was really just kind of a masterclass by them.
And that's all you really need to take the game. I mean, as close as you like. In the regular season, you'd be like, oh, rounds matter so much, because everyone has flashbacks of their team or their friend's team missing a really good seed they wanted because of rounds or whatever, right? And so, you care about, like, at least it was close, at least there's that, but now that Stage 2 is a thing, and it's all BO3, is it?
Right, we're not actually in playoffs yet.
Yeah.
So I've been...
yeah, it does not matter that it's realistically playoffs mode in a way, because it does not matter that you had a close game. What matters is you lost the map. That's the done deal there, which is very much different. There's more weeks of that playoff feeling where it's like, it doesn't matter that it was close, we lost, than ever before. So you really gotta it's not just about like shaping things up and refining everything to the best you can to have it be as close as possible. It's about making sure that you collect the dubs where you can. But Witness Game, we move on. Darkest Nights gonna have to sit, or well, I guess they don't sit for too long, because I guess the middle bracket between seeds 3, 4, 5, 6 can probably go ahead and start getting underway next week. So they don't get a break either, just a different bracket entirely now. But pretty good games, and I'm excited to see what the side of Freud Tech versus Witness will bring. Those are also pretty close matches, and that will need to get played to see who actually definitively takes first and second seed, I think. I think that is indeed played. It's a normal bracket. You don't skip that. And then next week we'll be starting the middle brackets as well, see if any of these Group A and Group B teams kind of swap around, see if there's any nice little upsets happening from the side of... actually, I don't think that bracket's done running through yet. I think GCI is bare minimum one of the teams, but I don't know if the match between Rome and FGP happened yet. I don't remember. But either way, it should be...
Yeah.
It happened tonight and FGP won? Rome has
They
fallen.
were lower seeded, right? Weren't they? FGP?
Yeah, Rome has fallen. Wow. All right, well, we'll see what happens. We've already had some, I think to some people, maybe some prizes already happened underway.
5-2 Metalworks, 2-1 Process.
Anything can happen in Stage 2, folks. So, like I keep saying in all these Stage 2 matches, we're no longer at the stage where it's like, oh, we get to watch seed number 1 play seed number 8. How fun. What a great cast. Like, no. Everything's adjacent. If you don't show up, if you aren't on point, you will lose your seed. So, I definitely got to put the pedal to the metal and bring it all, because stuff's getting really important starting now. So, definitely got to give it all you got, and it's definitely going to be a great viewing experience for the rest of us for these remaining 2 weeks before playoffs begins. But I think that's going to be it for us tonight. VO3 done. Matches, obviously, because you have to wait for one to finish before you can play the next one. Not scheduled yet. Only thing probably left to do before shoutouts is to make sure we shout out the merch. There's the general merch. It's seasonal. Got some nice designs. I really like the snake one. It's a really good one, and you can support all the graphic designers that make all the little pictures for the shirts, and check it out if you so desire. It's only around for so long. There's also the team merch. You have to opt in for it. So I think the only team from tonight that opted in was Darkest Night, so there is Darkest Night's merch available. But there's merch for a wide variety of other teams and a lot of Highlander teams as well. If you're a fan of Highlander, a lot of Highlander teams opted in. So, any team you like, you can take a peek at that. But it's all available at shop.rgl.gg. Seasonal, so you got a little bit of time, but not too much time left as we are getting closer and closer to playoffs, so make sure it is remaining on your mind as time goes by. But any final shoutouts? We go ahead and wrap things up, Alto.
Not too much. Shout out you, Jared. Thanks for putting up with me tonight. As not too sure what I'm doing when it comes to sixes, but it was a fun time. Good to see some variety in the maps I get to cast at least, and looks like the rest of stage 2 should be very, very interesting, and I might a little bit more of an eye on it than I had been.
Yep, stage 2 is definitely a treat. It definitely is going to be a pretty nice viewing experience. Definitely shout out to everyone for hanging out and watching, and the teams for playing. Also Alto and Dolphin being here, casting with me. My sleep is like fractured into 3 right now. I am like off of it right now. You could see in the middle of that round I was confused. Like I thought the wrong team won or whatever. But nonetheless, there's a lot more to be happening in the recent weeks. Like I said before, not scheduled yet. Probably, defaults are usually Tuesday through Wednesday, but seeing as these teams are like playing on Sundays and Mondays, you really have to keep your eyes peeled and make sure that you're check before scrim time, see if there's a match happening, because if you don't, you will very easy miss it. I guarantee you there's probably many, many people that have missed the last 3 casts because they did not know they were being played, because they have to be scheduled last minute, because people don't know their opponents until the last minute. That's just how it rolls. So make sure you're vigilant about it if you want to catch it.
Just keep a tab with the RGL stream open at all times, really, so long as you're awake.
Yeah, let us farm that ad revenue.
Absolutely.
All right,
those watch hours?
Yeah. But for tonight, that'll be it for us. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Jarrett, casting with Alto, with Dolphin on production. Thank you, and good night.